I know some of you are baseball fans and following the World Series like me. And because it's going on right now and I'm thinking about baseball, when I heard today's gospel, I thought of a certain expression. Maybe some of you have heard it too. It's this: he was born on third base and thought he had hit a triple. Now, for you non-baseball fans, third base means you're almost home. To that end, Jesus warns about confusing where we start out in life and what it takes to make it to heaven. And he also uses the image of the narrow gate and the need for strength for us to make it through. All this discussion came as a result of someone asking a very important question. Lord, will only a few people be saved? Well, rather than doing what they did at my college freshman orientation when they said, look to your left, look to your right, because neither of those people are going to be part of your graduating class, instead of using a percentage of how many would be saved, Jesus offers a thought-provoking response. One that tells us that no one is counted out, no matter where you started, no matter where you are today, when he says, some who are last shall be first, and some who are first shall be last. But at the same time, Jesus also challenged all of us by saying, strive to enter through the narrow gate, for many will attempt, but will not be strong enough. I don't know about you, but when I read that, right away I was clued into the idea that being a follower of Jesus means that we need to focus in our faith journey, because there is a certain path we need to follow, and the stakes are great. I think most of us can remember a time when we were driving, maybe riding a bike, or even walking, and we needed to pass through a very narrow space. Think of that in your mind. As soon as you see it, you start to figure, will I make it? Do I need to slow down? Am I lined up properly to pass through? Well, although Jesus is talking about the final gate to pass into heaven, he's certainly offering us a wake-up call to pass through the preliminary gates that we face each day of our lives as we strive to follow him. And these involve striving to do more than the convenient or the popular in today's world. As one of our college students told me, Father, it means doing more than just going to Sunday Mass and trying to be a good person. Striving to follow Jesus on the straight and narrow means so much more. At times, perhaps it means going to confession for the first time in a long time. It could mean forgiving a family member or a friend that we're really struggling to forgive. It could be sacrificing your time for someone who really needs to talk to someone even when your schedule is really busy. It also means at times compassionately letting someone you know that they're going in the wrong direction. Now, we know from experience none of these are easy, right? They require strength, commitment, prayer, and of course, the grace of God. When Jesus says, I don't know where you are from, he's saying you haven't been with me. You haven't been following my teachings. You chose to go another way. But the beauty of us hearing this message is today we have the opportunity to listen, to think, to talk with our family and friends about what does it mean concretely to follow Jesus through that narrow gate. How can prayer, inspired by the Holy Spirit, inspire us to be both courageous and kind? How can we hear God's voice breaking through our darkness, our fears, and our doubt? How can we hear the words of God challenge us and inspire us when he says, we know that all things work for the good of those who love God? My brothers and sisters, that's what helps us, not alone, but together, to make it through that narrow gate by loving God and how we live each day, and when we struggle, together to ask Him for help through our prayers. None of us, in the eyes of God, was born on third base, but each one of us is being called to journey through each of the gates, each of the doors, so that all of us will make it home. May God bless you and your families on this holy day.